Jake and Joy, season 10.
Wait, 10?
Unbelievable, season 10. I can't even believe we're that old. How can we be that old?
I don't know.
No.
I'm not that old.
10 years of getting made fun of, so. And 10 years of working with, what's your name again?
Darren?
Eric? Daryl?
Daryl? Whatever you want to call me. Just cameraman.
She called you Darren like the other day, and I was like, it's already started.
Wow, I wasn't even there. Great. Part of the family.
Hey, we're gonna make a recipe today that a lot of people have been making over the years. Some people call it overnight oats. Some people call it a bircher, which I'd never heard before. Some people do it in an Instapot and they cook it. But we're gonna do Jake's version today. She's gonna take you through this. And this is having an overnight oat thing. It makes it so simple to start your day.
Yeah,
it's so simple.
So simple. Yeah.
Okay,
so
take it away.
I've made overnight oats a lot, but I got excited.
I want to talk about how when you were little, so if you've been watching us for 10 seasons, you've seen our muesli recipe, which is muesli will fix anything that ails you. And with the muesli, we just soak it, and you could soak it overnight, and it's instant magic food. It's great. So if you haven't seen the muesli recipe, go back and watch it. This is a take on the muesli, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So I just started reading Dr. Greger's book, How to Not Die. And he
Thank you. Good. Should we all read that?
And he's got a cookbook, How to Not Die cookbook, that goes along with it. And this recipe was in it. And he really talks about the importance of getting as many plants in as possible. And he has this whole score that you want to try to accomplish in each day. It's a certain number of like seeds and herbs and plants and different.
There's an app that you can use too that you actually check it off.
That's cool.
It's called the Daily Dozen or something like that.
Yeah.
I have it on my phone.
So this recipe scores you 5 points. So it's a pretty good way to start your day. All right, for this recipe, you're gonna need a cup of gluten-free rolled oats, a tablespoon of flaxseed meal, a tablespoon of hemp hearts, a tablespoon of chia seeds. You're gonna need a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a full teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can use a whole vanilla bean if you want, or vanilla powder. And then for sweetener, you're either gonna need a date syrup, or if you have our Juice Plus Complete, you can use a serving of that. And then finally, you're gonna need some almond milk or other non-dairy milk, and then berries or chopped up fruit to top. All right, so now that you have everything, we're gonna start here with the oats, and we're gonna put all of the dry ingredients into this bowl. That's how I like to do it. You can do it whatever order you want, but it's just easiest for me. And you wanna make sure you get gluten-free, and it's important to get non-GMO oats as well. And if you get organic, that takes care of that.
Right.
So
does everybody know that organic must be non-GMO? A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They're like, it's organic and it's non-GMO. It's everything that's organic is non-GMO.
Yeah. So he calls for a cup of rolled oats. Sometimes I add a little more, just because I like to fill the cups all the way. But we have a little bit smaller jars, so we're gonna go with that. Then we're gonna take the flax meal. Where did my utensils go? And we're gonna do. It's pretty simple. We're gonna do a tablespoon of flax meal.
So I never measure any of this stuff.
I am the ultimate measurer. I have to measure.
I just throw it in.
We're gonna do a tablespoon of chia seeds.
Chia seeds are really high in protein. I mean, all these things are. This is like people say, if you only eat plants, how are you gonna get enough protein? All this stuff is really packed with protein.
Now, he doesn't call for hemp seeds, but I add it because hemp hearts, it doesn't add any weird flavor. What I did try to do is I added quinoa flakes.
Oh, that sounds
to get
terrible.
it, and I thought it was fine. Alex was like, "That's not good." So
that sounds terrible.
I stopped adding it. So, so a tablespoon of hemp hearts, and then we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of cinnamon.
And this is a special cinnamon. This is one that Dr. Greger recommends in his book, How to Not Diet. And what he loves about the cinnamon is that it's actually fat burning, and Ceylon cinnamon is supposed to be magical somehow. I don't know why, but that's what he talks about. So that is Ceylon cinnamon. I bought you can buy a lot of spices and herbs in bulk,
and
they're way less expensive that way.
Cool.
Way less.
And neither one of you have died, so it must be
No, we
working.
haven't died
We're
yet.
living. So for the sweetener in it, he calls for date syrup, and he's like, he teaches you how to make your own, but I got this from Whole Foods, I think, and it's just organic medjool dates in the ingredients. So that's all that it is. And so he says to use this for any sweetener you're going to use at all.
Because you're getting the benefit of the dates.
You're getting the benefit of the dates, which are massive, not just the sweetener.
Does that have the shells in it, or does it?
No,
make
you
it...
take the pits out.
You take the pits out.
They're not shells.
Pits, yeah, sorry.
If you missed that episode last season,
Oh, I think it was like 3 years ago.
okay, number of seasons ago. But what I'm going to do is instead of this, I'm going to add a 1 serving of our Juice Plus Complete.
It's a superfood smoothie mix,
So
you're getting even more plants.
An additional 15 plants, and it has the sweetener already, so I don't need to do the date syrup. So I'm going to put a packet of this in.
What's neat about this recipe is that like everything that's going into it is something good for you. So a lot of times like we try to like add stuff to things to make it better for you, but every single piece of this is good for you.
Yeah. Okay. So then I need a fork to mix this.
I'll get you a fork.
So I'm gonna mix the dry ingredients just up a little bit, just so it doesn't get so they get mixed.
We're in someone else's kitchen.
I know.
So
At some point, can we talk about the secret compartments where all the utensils
secret
are?
compartments, I know. Like when we first got here, I couldn't find any utensils at all. I'm like, how can you have a house and a VRBO and not have any utensils? And I was just like freaked out. And they have these little hidden drawers in them. I guess this is an IKEA thing.
Yeah.
They're very clever, but seriously, I looked for utensils for like an hour. It was
like
crazy.
that, hidden.
Or coffee filters.
And coffee filters, same thing.
All right, so now I just mixed the dry ingredients up, loosely, and then we're gonna do a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now his recipe calls for either extract, but he says preference is vanilla bean. So you cut it open and scrape the seeds out, which I did do the first couple times. If you're doing it every single day, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
So a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then it's 1 3/4 cups of almond milk or whatever
They
non-dairy
put that
milk.
in that's interesting. Okay. So when we make the muesli, we just use water.
Just guesstimate there on 3/4 cups. Okay.
Notice she's using a dry measuring cup when you really should be using a liquid measuring cup.
I'm definitely not gonna do that. Okay, so then you just mix it up, and now there are a lot of different ideas about when you can add the extra fruit or peanut butter or whatever. He says to add either fresh or frozen berries. I do frozen often. That's what I have, and it's like a mixture of a bunch of different types, which I really like. So we're gonna put you can put as much or as little as you want. I'm gonna put all of these blueberries in. There's
The stems are good for you. The stems have extra nutrition.
Okay, so we're gonna dump all the blueberries in. We're gonna mix it up, and then it looks really soupy, which is good. You want that because the oats absorb a lot of liquid. I've done it where I haven't put enough liquid in, and they're kind of like they're not as good. I like them a little more liquidy. All right, so we got these adorable little jars, as you can see here, and I usually use like a mason jar, like a pint-sized mason jar.
Like something like this.
Yeah, just like that. It's gonna be a little bit smaller, so I need a big spoon.
A big spoon. I think it's in this hidden drawer.
I know. So this will work.
Or this.
Oh yeah, okay. And then I just scoop it into here. Scoop it in.
As you're making this, I just have to say that, like, I like the idea of how we take the muesli and mix all the ingredients that we want in it ahead of time. So that all you would have to do is, if you already had it mixed up, is add the liquid.
Right. You could in bulk put all the dry ingredients together and just dump it in there.
That's the whole idea behind the muesli recipe.
Yeah. So then we put the top on, throw it into the fridge, and you can let it sit just for half an hour. But with how much liquid there is, I don't think it would absorb it as quickly. So I do it overnight. And we actually have a finished one to show you.
Let's eat it.
This one is with frozen berries, so you can see it the color kind of bleeds into it. And we'll open it up.
Yum. Ooh, that looks great. Now, some people like to put nut butter or more nuts, or the whole idea is like, how can you get more plants into each meal that you're eating?
Yeah, and what do you like? And you can use different sweeteners. You can use maple syrup. You can use honey if you want.
Some people say that the sweetener loses its sweetness overnight. I was reading that when I was looking up recipes, and they said that, like, I don't know why that would be, but that's what this woman said, that her kids always want to add more sweetener unless she adds it the morning of.
Oh, interesting. So there's some tips.
And then peanut butter or almond butter would be great to add to it.
Coconut flakes.
Cacao nibs. I mean, any superfood that you can think of.
You can add dried berries, dry other nuts if you want to put pumpkins.
Berries.
We learned this thing about pumpkin seeds for men, really important.
Yes,
So you could add
and
those
that's in the muesli recipe. So that just a handful of pumpkin seeds has been found a day. Yeah, just once
once in your
Once
whole
in
life.
your whole life, if you have a handful of pumpkin seeds. No,
You're
but
set.
having a handful of pumpkin seeds a day is a real cure, not a cure, but a prophylactic for prostate cancer for men.
Yeah.
Women don't have prostate.
Yeah, so
it's
but
not
still,
important.
but eat
So don't
pumpkins.
eat pumpkin
Yeah,
seeds.
eat anyway.
Yeah.
And then almonds are supposed to be like having 10 almonds a day is supposed to be great for an anti-cancer. Just 10 almonds.
Yeah, for everyone. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. So if
really
you want
cool.
to put 10 almonds in
You could do sliced almonds, or you could crush, crush them up or whatever.
Or use almond butter.
Or
I would
there you go.
imagine it's the same thing, right? So yum. We should go outside and have some of this.
'Kay.
Let's eat. Yum. So what's really great about this is that you can take it anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
But I still think that you should do the dry ingredients ahead of time because I would never do that.
Yeah, totally. These have been awesome because my husband Alex, he usually doesn't eat breakfast before he goes to work. He goes so early, but now he takes this in the car with him, so he's getting something to start the day, which is great.
Yeah, you can eat it in the car. I mean, it's really perfect.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, Starbucks is selling
have it.
oatmeal, you know, basically which is great. But
Try a bite.
sure, I'm going to eat mine.
Okay. Hi.
Do you love overnight oats?
Do you want to have a bite of overnight oats?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, let me give you a spoonful. Ready? Want some? Is that so good?
Yum. What a great versatile recipe. I
Yeah.
love it.